Alright, so this is part 3 of the Rise of the Tomb Raider speedrun tutorial. This will be the Siberian wilderness through the first part of the Soviet installation. So Siberian wilderness is very straightforward. There's only one out of bounds. And it's not too hard to do. Alright, so a small little time saver that you can do right here. Lara's gonna fall in front of the campfire, and once she stands back up, if you're pressing A really fast, you can get a little jump, and you'll avoid some slow walking. So if you just press A fast right here. Okay, so I didn't get the jump, but you could avoid a little bit of this walking. It saves a few frames. Nothing big. That's pretty much what this entire section is. Like, the Siberian wilderness, you're not gonna lose time or save time. But if you do lose time, you're gonna lose a lot of time. And there's really only one spot where you can lose time, and that's during the out of bounds section. And it's really bad time loss too. So right here, you can save a few more frames by just climbing over this log instead of walking normally. Right here, here's a few more frames that you can save. Once Lara starts walking slowly, if you stop moving forward, you can avoid that slow walking section. So what I did, as soon as she started walking slowly, I stopped holding forward for just half a second, and then I continued walking forward, and that will skip a slow walking section. So right here I just spam A just to get through the menuing, since you need to upgrade the what's it called? The bow. So just spam A right there. Press B twice. And we gotta come over here to the skills. You can go over to Survivor, and you will learn the Lightfoot, which is how we will be doing the jump roll. And then just mash B to get out of this. And if you have the DLC, press A. Learning the menuing will take a little bit of time to get used to. So anyways, again, the jump rolling is when you jump, you land, and then you just roll. So just press B to start rolling, and then just immediately jump after. So anyways, stand up for the campfire, and then you're gonna go to the left. Come through these trees. And then if you can time those jump rolls right, you can get a really smooth transition. For whatever reason right here, when they threw that flare up, you're moving really slowly, so you can't do jump rolls. You'll be jumping like really slowly, like this. So what I do during this part is I just scramble or roll through this part. On this pallet, you just axe climb up, saves a few seconds. And then just jump roll through here. And now we're at the big dog. So again, really it's just, this whole section is just jump roll through stuff. There's nothing special about this. Just jump rolling. There's really nothing to explain in the Siberian wilderness. Except for the out of bounds, which we are about to get to. Alright, so we're gonna skip picking up these healing leaves because you don't actually need them. You can just go straight to the crates and you'll automatically get a healing leaf. So, those are pointless. So this crate can either give you 2 or 3 cloth. And I got 2 cloth. Which I guess is good because if you get 3 cloth, then you're set for Terrible Fight, which is in the research base. Because you absolutely need 2 cloth for Terrible Fights. If you get 2 cloth from this crate, then you're in a little bit of a pickle, but it shouldn't be a problem. Because right now I only have 1 cloth, and I will have a very hard time trying to do Terrible Fight with 1 cloth, because I won't have an explosive can. So somewhere along the way, I will need to find a cloth. I don't think I've ever had a run where I didn't have a cloth. Or I didn't have enough cloth. So along the way, we'll just be killing some enemies, just looting some enemies, and you'll pretty much always end up with at least 2 cloth. 3 cloth for Terrible Fight is really good, so that way you have an extra heal in case you need it, but as long as you have 2 for Terrible Fight. But again, this is later on down the line, so from here on out, we're just going to try to loot as many enemies just to get enough cloth. Again, you only really need 2. 3 is good, though. So anyways, you get the crates. Now you're going to come over here. This is where the out of bounds is. So you're going to jump onto this rock right here. Be careful though, you don't want to go too far down because the death plane is just right there. And then you're gonna... Okay, this is kind of dangerous. I think I'm gonna die if I aim, but... You're gonna want to jump right there onto this ledge. Jump around the tree. And just jump right here. So now we're right here. It's not a difficult jump, but it can be kind of scary at times. So now this is going to be our first clip of the game. It's a weird clip. It doesn't really look like anything. The camera will just kind of freak out. But anyways, I'm going to be holding forward like this. So I'm going to be walking. And then I'm going to aim my bow. So you kind of see your feet going. So I'm just holding up. And I'm just kind of jiggling the left stick. Just back and forth. And then I eventually make it up. Like, all I did was kind of I moved the right joystick back and forth a little bit, and I moved Lara back and forth a little bit. I'll do it again. I don't know, this clip's really weird. It's hard to explain, honestly. So just jump back here. I'm just going back and forth. And then I'm up. That time I didn't even move, like, my aiming camera. I didn't move the right stick at all. It's not a difficult clip, it's just kind of weird to explain. So after that, this rock is out of bounds, technically. We're going to jump over this fence and onto that log. And jump through these trees. I wouldn't recommend... Okay. So you're on the log. I wouldn't recommend jumping around this tree, because it's very easy to die if you do that. So just jump in between these trees. So we're going along, and then we axe climb up here. You can do a spam or controlled, it doesn't matter. I just spam it since it's easier, I think. Right here, though, we're going to need to do a controlled axe climb. I think it's easier. You want to land, or you want to do one controlled axe climb at kind of this L in the rock. But you want to do the standing part of the L, so you're really aiming for this. And you don't want to be too close to the rock like this. Well, I guess you can, but it's easier since this part back here is more elevated. You get more height. So just like that. So as soon as I touch the rock, I do the first AX, and then I press A again. So just like that. And now this part, you can lose a lot of time if you fail this jump. So you want to jump, we're going to jump over there, but you want to land onto this plank. It's not too bad, but if you fail it, you fall back in bounds, and you have to do that weird clip again all the way back there. So it's pretty annoying when you fail it. But again, it's not a difficult jump. So after that, we can go around here. You can kind of axe climb against that rock, just so you don't slip and fall to your death. You shouldn't fall to your death, but I don't know. I just always axe climb just for reassurance. So that's the campfire we're going to need to go to, but we need to come back and hit a load trigger. So we're going to go into the glacial cavern a little bit. And once you fall down this little lip, that's when you've hit the trigger, and that's when you can turn back around. I see the best laid plans came back up. So that's when you know you've hit the trigger. So we're going along, hit the cutscene, and skip it. And then you immediately exit the campfire. We don't need to worry about this campfire. I think we're only going to, in the entire run, we only upgrade twice. So pretty much all campfires we're going to ignore. Alright, for this part... Okay, I'm actually going to reload checkpoint just so it'll make it brighter. Because we've kind of glitched the game by doing that out of bounds in the Siberian wilderness. So now the game is back to normal. It's supposed to be daytime normally. But since I did that out of bounds, it's just always nighttime. So now this will be easier to see. So you can see this dark line right there. For whatever reason, you can stand on that part of the rock. Oh, okay, I have notifications on. But you can stand on that dark part of the rock. Well, you can't really stand on it, but you can land on it, and then you're going to immediately jump over onto this rock. And when I run up to it, if you run into this rock, you'll get kind of stuck right there. You can see I'm not really moving. So that's kind of what I do. If you go to the right of it, then you'll just walk off. But I just get stuck here and then jump to it. And just mash A, and then land right here. If you go too far left, you'll die. If you go too far right, you'll die. So that jump's kind of But you want to land pretty much right here. And now you don't want to go too far forward because then you'll die, obviously. But we're going to jump to the left of that tree. We're going to jump in between right there. It's really not a hard jump, but you just don't want to go too far. It looks a lot harder than it really is. Just don't go too far forward and you'll be fine. And there we go. We're out of bounds. So now we just continue. Continue along this path. That wall ahead of me, you can go across it. It saves like half a second, but you risk getting stuck in that tree, so you can just go to the left of it. You can just run across it. Okay, well I fell off, but you can just jump on it. Jump across. To get back in bounds, you need to be right here. If you fall down here, you can't get back in bounds. You'll need to jump back up onto this wall. Oh, Oops. Okay. But yeah, to get back in bounds, you need to jump through here, like right above this pillar right here. So that's how you get back in bounds. So you need to be to the left of the wall. To the left or on top of that small wall to get back in bounds. Destroyed that thing, and we are on our way. Skip. Alright, for this fight, you're gonna headshot this guy, aim right around here, and I missed. But you can get a quick headshot if you're good. It's actually really hard to do, but just shoot that first guy and then aim about right here. You can kind of see the corner of the box and the corner of the computer, just like right between them, and you'll be able to headshot him. So this is the first opportunity from that crate that only gave me 2 cloth. This is the first opportunity you have to gain some cloth. So just loot the guy. Didn't get it. I'm gonna ignore that guy since he's really close to this guy and I might accidentally talk to him. But it doesn't really matter, honestly. I didn't even get cloth. Mash X. There will be plenty of opportunities to get cloth. It's really not a big deal. Alright, so to wall clip. This will be the first wall clip. To wall clip, I use my pistol for this one. You just aim, and there are 2 ways to do a wall clip. You can kind of stutter, letting go of aim. Okay, wow, I actually clipped through. Didn't mean to. But basically, wall clipping, you're gonna extend Lara's hitbox outside of what you're trying to clip through. So when you do like a back scramble like this, and I'm still holding aim. I'm holding aim throughout all of this. So right now, Lara's hitbox is like, it's in this room I'm in, but it's also outside of the room. So if I hold back now and rotate the camera slowly, then I'll get through. I don't want a checkpoint, so I don't know if I got one. I don't think I did. So again, right here, I'm just holding back at all times. I'm holding aim at all times. I back scramble, and then I slowly rotate the camera. Okay, I failed it. And then a good way to do it as well is you want to keep your left joystick, the one you move with, pointing directly at where you want to go. So for instance, if I hold it straight back all the time, then as I'm rotating the camera, I'm still holding back, so now I'm going kind of this way instead of going straight out. So you also want to move your left joystick so it's pointing directly outside of what you're trying to clip through. So back scramble, slowly rotate the camera along with the left joystick so that I'm always pointing to where I want to clip out through. And then I mentioned a stutter clip. I call it a stutter clip anyways. It's just another way to do a clip. But instead of back scrambling, pressing B, you can just let go of aim and you kind of stutter like that. And it's just another way. The rest is the exact same. But just let go of trigger for a split second and then press it again. For all these clips, they each have their own little differences and nuances. And I'll explain each of those for each clip. But for this one, I actually like to stutter clip. For whatever reason, I just find it easier. That's a pretty good wall to clip through to practice. And so is this one right here. This is also another really good wall to practice against. These clips aren't hard. That one actually can be kind of weird at times. But this one's pretty much always consistent, as long as you're going in this way. For whatever reason, if you come out the other way, it doesn't really work. But for this one, I do a back scramble clip. So like that. And just move across. Again, just rotate the camera. And keep your left stick pointing directly towards where you want to clip. So you're going to move both joysticks in relation to each other. Alright, so the main thing with wall clipping is you want to go slowly. Actually, that's not entirely true. Sometimes, again, some clips are different. Sometimes you want to go really slowly, sometimes you want to be aggressive with them. And there will definitely be some aggressive clips. You can go slowly with both of those. I don't really know if you can go aggressive with them, but you can just go slowly through those. And when I mean go slowly, I mean turn your camera slowly. And when I mean aggressive, you just want to like go for it. But for the slow ones, just move your camera really slowly. It's all about the rotation. So right here, you can go up the ladder and go down the zip line if you want to. Or you can come over here to this box with the map on it. And if you kind of position yourself right here, if you jump, and then as soon as you land, jump again, you can clip through like that. So just be kind of right here and just mash A once you land. And then you can go through. It's pretty easy to do. You're going to come over here. And then we're going to jump onto this little concrete part that's sticking out. And then jump over the fence. We're actually going to... I axe climb up it. So I do one axe climb to get over it. And you want to go across the tire to give you a little bit more elevation. So axe climb and up. That's also not a very difficult jump. If you go up the ladder, then you'll hit a cutscene, or a cutscene type thing, and it's really slow. So anyways, continuing. This is the second part where you can grab an extra cloth. I loot this guy. This guy isn't usually over here, but okay, and there's that extra cloth. So I have two, so I'm good for terrible fight. I can do it now. But I always try to get 3 cloth. Just so I can have that extra revive if I need to have it. It's really good to have that extra heal. And there will be many other opportunities to get that extra cloth. So we're going to come over here. Jump up here. And then we're going to get out of bounds again. We're going to jump onto this rock. That's like right here, and then jump onto a log that's angled into some trees. So just jump and jump. And now we're here. We're going to clip through the trees. I seem to remember having trouble doing it with a bow, so I always use a pistol for this one. But anyways, all you need to do is hold forward and aim. And actually, if you look kind of more to the right, you just fall right through. You want to make sure, though... Let's see if I can... Okay. You want to make sure you don't fall off of the log. So if you kind of point the left joystick more into the trees, because you can easily just fall off to the right and you'll still be in bounds. But if you look to the right and hold the left joystick pointing to the left a little bit, then you'll stay on the log and you'll just clip through. Okay. So now, follow this path. So right here, there's a risky route and a safe route. The risky route, if you fail it, the run's kind of dead. Because you lose a lot of time. You can just fall out into the void. But This rock right here is a slippery rock, so you're gonna need to do that melee again up it. So the risky route is just going straight up, and you'll have to time 2 melees. So wait till the very end of her second, or her first melee. And I failed it. I can't do this one. I hate this risky routes. But once you get to the top, you're gonna just spam axe climb and then jump over to the left. I can't do it. I don't like this one. But anyways, the route that I like to take is it's impossible to die on it. So you do this, go to the right, and then you just climb up this rock. Don't climb up this side because it's really difficult. Climb up more to the left. Again, I just spam axe climb. And then we're up here. If you were to do the straight path, then you end up right here. It saves a little bit of time. But anyways, now we're just gonna roll through here. We have this fence we're gonna clip through. So I do a back scramble clip. That one's kind of a medium pace. Rotate. It's really important you learn how to do the wall clips, because we do a ton of those in the run. Again, those 2 walls that I mentioned earlier, those are really good ones to practice on. Gonna come up here. Go around here. And now this is where the load to the gulag is. It's actually over there. And what I do is, I'm gonna reload actually, because it's weird if, I don't know. It'll just make a lot more sense if I do it when everything is not loaded in. And you guys get to see this again, in case you needed a refresher. So jump onto this rock, into the log, look left. Wow, I didn't even need to pull out my gun. That was cool. I've actually never seen that before. Cool. Let me try to do this one again. Okay, so I got it. That's a really risky run because if you go too far forward, you'll just slide off. Like, this entire rock is slippery and you'll fall off and you'll die. And also, if you fall back down, you could end up falling too far to the right and you'll fall into the abyss that way. It's a really risky route, and I don't typically do it. Also, sometimes with wall clips, you don't even need to do a back scramble or a stutter. Sometimes you'll just instantly be on the other side, like that. Like, I didn't even do anything. I didn't do a back scramble or a stutter. I was just facing, or put my back against the gate, and I was just clipping through already. So anyways, for this part, to load in the trigger for the gulag, all I do is just kind of run around in a certain spots. And then it'll load in. So I go right here. Okay, wow, it loaded in fast again. But I just run around right there. Just run around in circles. There's no real trick to it. You just kind of wait until you hit it. Alright, and that will be it for this part.
What do you know about